It's Thursday evening. Man, this week seems to have flown by. And this is coming from someone who doesn't really count days. Count the days of the week. Hey, Austin, how are you, my friend? So think about our friend Emily. I almost said young friend, but you know what? I don't know how old she is. So it would be presumptuous of me to say, to just declare arbitrarily our young friend. But I was thinking of our friend Emily, and did I handle that situation the best? If someone is I don't know. I think I reacted slightly from an egoic stance to an egoic stance, which is never a good thing. It's always two egos butting heads. Um, what I hope to do, what I always hope to do on my channel is to extend peace in any way that's possible, in any way that I'm capable of it. And you never reach a state of graciousness by making an enemy, ever. It's mathematically impossible. If you want peace, you create peace. Better stated, you extend peace because peace is who you truly are. It's who we truly are. Peace is synonymous with love. So my stance, on this type of conflicts, world conflicts, remains the same. The only answer is always and only a declaration of internal peace within each of ourselves. If we are witness to war in whatever form, if we're witness to violence in whatever form, it means violence is occurring within us. Even if we're the most peaceful person in the world, if we are witness to that, then violence is occurring within us. So that's the macro. Taking it on the micro, when someone comes in with a declaration of think my way or you're wrong, very slightly I experience a what seems like a loss of my own peace, because I get slightly up in arms when someone these days, when someone asks me to take a side. It's confusing. Hey, William, how are you? It's confusing. People say, well, you got to take a side. Of course, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. Um, is there a side in international conflicts? Man, it's a weird situation. Christy says, hi, hey, Christy. Alex says, what's up? Hey, Alex. William says, I'm well. Good, I'm glad to hear it, William. How's the temperature out there in Arizona? William says, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. So, how's the weather? How's the training? Good away from Alex. Well, thank you, Alex. (108). Man, beginning of October and it's still 108. Doesn't that seem to be cooling down much, William? Let's see. Fukra? Did I get that right? Fukra? Hello from Karachi? Bharat? I don't know where that is. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Rose says, haven't trained yogs? Just too busy? Work getting in the way? Fukra says, your country? I'm in the U.S., my friend. How about you? Where are you located? So anyway, I think a better way to have worked with our friend Emily when she came in and said, do this, think this way. And instead of immediately offering my position and taking my stance, might have been better to say, well, tell me about yours. Tell me how you came about to this conclusion. Tell me how, why it is you think I should adopt your position. Maybe I should have extended a bit more of a personal uh, olive branch, but I don't know. William says, he's at, well, probably 3 weeks now. A lot of work, yes. Well, I hope you get some downtime coming up, William. Hindustan. Well, welcome. William says, who's Emily? Emily is someone that came in. Hey, Pancake. She's come in a few times with a very strong political stance on the war going on, Palestine and Israel, which is a tragic situation across the board. My stance: ceasefire, and that's it. In the history of conflict, we've never fixed it with a mind of conflict. You can't fix a conflict with a mind of conflict. You can't end the war with a mind that is capable of perceiving a war still in place. The only true way to end conflict worldwide, internationally, nationally, locally, is by ending it within ourselves. When we are at peace within ourselves, war itself is impossible. And that's my stance. So when someone says, do this, take this side, I'm at the point, hey, Confident, how are you? Confident says, hey. Pancake says, much love, brother. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, Pancake. As I've stated quite a few times in the past, that at this point in my life, at 59, let's see, William says her stance was stand with Palestine, and she's American, I'm going to presume. Yes. Confident says, hi, guys. And here's the thing. You can say, I am against the, not against, hey, program. Hi, old friend. How are you, program? Now, when our friend program says, hi, old friend, he literally means old friend. Hey, Kathy, how are you? William says, of course. Program says, make me a moderator, please. I'm begging. I can't do it yet. You sort of, I don't want to say you got to prove yourself, but you got to show that your intent is always peace. You know what I mean? Hey, Ann. Ann's Crap Chat. How are you? You notice the involuntary smile that comes to my face just saying Ann's Crap Chat? 2 reasons for that. 1, it's fun to say Ann's Crap Chat. 2, I like Ann. So I get that involuntary smile. Same smile when, you guys show up. Pancake says, oh, I saw that. Much love, brother. Much love to you. So, yeah, I always return to resolve conflict locally, nationally, internationally. Resolve it within yourself first. As the prayer of St. Francis states, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Let me read that real quick. I know. No one wants to hear me read it. You know what, though? every once in a while, you got to do that whole, it's my channel. I'm going to go ahead and read it anyway. Hey, Skeeter. I love this prayer. It's one of the first ways I learned how to meditate was contemplative meditation. You take a spiritual passage, close your eyes, you relax, and you begin at the top, allowing each word very slowly to sink within, almost like you are planting a seed, almost like you're dropping a pebble into a still pool of water, and watch it ripple, watch the vibrations go outwards, so that then your life is truly becoming that which you meditate upon. So, the prayer of St. Francis: Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying to self that we are born to eternal life. Imagine if we all learned how to meditate on that, and that we acted upon that which we meditated daily. We would literally be an instrument of peace, and war would be obsolete. You don't fix a war by going to war. You don't fix a conflict by going to war against the conflict, no matter what it is. It doesn't work. Let's see. Sorry if I fell behind. Anne says, hi, everyone. Rowan says, slow to confident. Confident says, program, you can't just get one like that. Easy, I think. Sometimes it can be that easy. Sometimes it can. But other times, program's pretty young. So it would be, I just don't think it would be the right time. This might not be the right place. I'm not saying it won't ever happen. Kathy says he doesn't know well enough program. There you go. Takes a little bit of time. Program says my sister is gay and proud, and I proudly support gay freedom. I'm with you on that. Kathy says hi, Ann. Hey guys, have you visited our friend Kathy's page? She is, I don't know why I call it a page. Her channel. So I got the new video up today, as of earlier this morning. Confidence says I support all. I do too, my friend. I do too. Skeeta says, see everyone on the buzz. Cheers, Brother Yogi. Eating dinner and heading out. So 7 o'clock, our friend Skeeter is going to be fishing, catfishing, along with Mrs. Skeeter. It's a peaceful evening. You know, so I just read Prayer of St. Francis, focusing on peace. It is hard to be at conflict when you're on a beautiful early fall evening catfishing with friends like Skeeter and Mrs. Skeeter, or you're hanging out with Stuart, or you're hanging out with Any Fit as Possible, Bob, or Dam. So it starts with us. Find a way to peace. You, each of you. And it extends outwards, and we have a world that is full of peace. Course in Miracles says, do not seek to change the world, seek to change how you perceive the world. And then the world changes. Hey, Dan, I was just talking about you. Dan is going out fishing this Saturday. Confidence says, see Peyton hi. Kathy says hi to Skeeter. William says hi to see Peyton. Program wants to know, we talked about this earlier, how often I poop. As often as need be. I don't give one poop more, one poop less than what's needed. Confident is laughing. Program, listen to the prayer. Kathy says, program, please stop. Confident says he's probably a kid. I believe he mentioned that he was 12. I think. And says, program, let's ask appropriate questions, please. You only out for 5 minutes. Let's see. William says, Yogi, I have to run, but I'll be back on and off between calls. All right, William, be safe, my friend. Kathy says, I'm pretty sure he is confident. Dan says, so Yogi, as soon as I pop in, I heard my name. Absolutely. I was just talking about, I was talking about peace. Literally world peace, national peace, and inner peace. And you can't be more at peace than doing what you do, Dan. The other day, I guess it was a week ago, when you showed me what you caught, and you were, man, that happiness, the joy that you had, that can't be bought. And it spreads. When you have that kind of joy, you're in a good spot in life. Hi, Alexandria, how are you? How you feeling, my friend? Vandua says, been a while, brother. How are you? Let's see. Be Confident says, Barb, what's the most memorable friend you've ever had in your live stream? Barb. Do we have a Barb here? Be Confident says, like Jacob. Let's see. Vandoria says, how you doing? I am doing pretty good. How about you? Confidence says, like Jacob. And says, hi, everyone coming in. I'm sorry, Yogi, I don't interact with children. My channel is inappropriate for under 18. So that's how I handle it. That's perfectly fine. Be Confident says he's 21. Gotcha. I never know fully what to believe. I tend to take things at face value, but to have a sense of discernment as well. I absolutely agree with you, Anne, that I don't really I try not to have adult content, or, I guess, what is adult content? I don't know. I think you probably have the safest policy, the best policy. Dan says, hello, Anne. Be Confident says, I think I remember, I think. Gotcha. Kathy says, children can really cause problems on your channels. Yeah, they could. This is true. Be Confident says, I could be totally wrong. Let's see. Vandoria says, I should mention that I have changed my account name. It is not Ice Commandant anymore, sir. I changed it to something that sounds more nice to the ear. Don't you agree? I don't know. Here's the difference. I could pronounce Ice Commandant, and I'm not sure that I can pronounce Vandoria yet. But I think I'll get there. Let me know how I'm doing. Vandoria. It is pretty. But you've helped me with my German before. It's been a bit. How are you? Kathy says, I don't let anyone under 18 on my live stream. Let's see. Did I miss Nightmare? I don't seem to be seeing everyone who shows up. Oh, there he is. Nightmare says hi, everyone. Hey, Nightmare, how are you? Yandoria. Yandoria, if that makes sense. Yandoria. How'd I do? I usually, when I know I'm mispronouncing something, I usually say on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being really good, 1 being, do you even speak English? So Vandoria. Does it mean something in German? Hey, Anne, we working on another mug tonight? The last mug was from Anne was a Frankenstein mug, and it was really cool looking. I don't remember if you said you were posting it on your community page. One of the things that we've been talking quite about something, um, talking quite a bit about community pages on your YouTube channel, and it's actually Nightmare who said yesterday that community pages on Facebook shows you where my head is, on YouTube is actually becoming its own viable social media platform. And I think it can definitely be underutilized by a lot of people. Nightmare says, have you ever been to the UK? I haven't been, but man, I often thought that I'd love to live there. Vandoria says, no, I tried making something that sounds nice. Vandoria. It has a nice flow to it, that's for sure. And says, yep, just not live tonight. And yes, just haven't yet. Gotcha. Just checking to see if I missed anyone. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm sort of a fly by the seat of the pant live streamer, which might not be the best way to approach it. Nightmare says, not as good as it used to be when I was a kid, but still nice locations if you know your way around. I just always thought it was a pretty landscape all across. I love the countryside of England. And of course, Ireland and Scotland's beautiful, as is the coastline of Wales. Kathy says, I wasn't scared at that cemetery last night. I just had a real uneasy feeling. How unusual is that for you, Kathy, to get that kind of a feeling? So you can watch that video, guys, where Kathy gets that uneasiness when she's at the cemetery. Joe says, so Yogi, hey Joe, how are you? What's new in the world of Joe Delaney? How was your Bible study session the other night? Isabella, my friend, how are you? I find it odd that Isabella stops by frequently, is always kind, and yet for some reason she is not a moderator. Not that she needs to be. Honestly, I don't generally add moderators as someone who times people out or, you know, polices the conversation. It's just an easy way for good friends to connect with each other, support each other's channels. Uh, just makes it a little easier for everyone. Nightmare says, North of Scotland is my favorite. Most of it is still untouched. Nice. There was talk a while back of reintroducing wolves into Scotland, and I think it was voted down. Kathy says, I get it once in a while. Joe says, good, good. And it was great. It's every Wednesday evening. Nice. It's good to have, in yogic and Buddhist circles, it's called the Sangha, which is the spiritual community. And I think it's really important to have that type of spiritual community. Everyone goes off course a little bit in some way. And it's just good to have the right people gently steer you back. And says, hi, Joe. We get everyone saying hi, which is awesome. Nightmare says, you say wolves. Yeah, that would be a bad idea for numerous reasons. But they introduce them in other ecosystems, and the entire ecosystem flourishes. They did that in Yellowstone. But, man, Scotland, even northern Scotland, isn't Yellowstone. It's not as spacious. It's not as wide open. Hey, Ann, how was it hanging out with Stuart, the fish whisperer? I think he's still live streaming. So if anyone wishes to, you know what? I can drop the link. If anyone wishes to swing on over and say hi, you can tell him I sent you. Kathy says, I always appreciate you, Eric. But thank you, Kathy. And I appreciate hearing that. I honestly, more than anything on YouTube, want to help other people. Let's just leave it at that. I want to help other people. I was searching for the right thing. Do I want to help other people grow their channel? Do I want to help other people gain an audience? Do I want to help other people? I want to help other people. So if your aspiration on YouTube is a small channel that just puts out quality videos that you're happy with, that you're proud of, that speak from the soul, I want to help. If you want to grow, our friend Austin is wanting to get monetized, and he deserves to be monetized. He's already gotten 600 subs. We're working on some watch hours, get him to that first level. I want to support that. I've often been asked, and I joke about this, and it's been joked about in other channels, of vegan supporting fishing and hunting channels. And the truth is, I don't see it that way. I don't see that as a vegan, I can't support this. I see it that these are people that I've become friends with, and this is what they do, and I support them and what they do. And they are also people who hunt and fish in the way my family used to. Still does up in Pennsylvania. I grew up with it. I am not, I mentioned this earlier in the day, I'm not anti anything. As soon as you become anti something, you've created an opposition. You've created an enemy, even if it's a very subtle enemy, us against them. I'm declaring my position is morally right and yours is immorally wrong. How do we ever see each other um, as friends, spiritual friends, if I take that stance? My stance is I see you, I see what you're doing, I love you, you have my support. Now, of course, if someone had a, you know, violent channel where they were, propagating violence against others, that's a different story. Just says, wait, whose link was that? Yogi, missed it. Oh, that was Stuart the Fish Whisperer. Stuart is a fishing fly tying guru. He's a Zen master. He's the best kind of Zen master. He's the type of Zen master who doesn't realize that he's a Zen master. He sits patiently at his table, tying flies, laughing, making other people laugh, and just, it's a good time. Austin says, how you doing today, Yogi? I'm doing pretty good, Austin. Thanks. Oh, you know why it doesn't work for you? Shoot, because I'm on a desktop. And when I drop a link from my desktop, I think it goes back to my channel, right? Love says, from the keyboard. Laboratory Pups, my friend, how are you? Welcome, my friend. Hey, speaking of just awesome. Laboratory Pups says, we're away from our keyboards. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Speaking of great channels, Laboratory Pups. One of the best live streams. If you're lucky and you show up, you might get a song dedicated to you. She might sing you a song. I don't want to say everyone across the board gets a song. I think she probably tries. But she gets a lot of people in the chat. That's a lot of songs. I will not do that. I offer you a song from my heart, but I will not sing a song. You trust me, guys? You do not want me to sing you a song? Joe says, I visited Austin's house. Check it out. Nice, Joe. Austin's a good friend. Nightmare says, I did try to throw the rods in the water, to be fair. I went fishing one time as a kid. My uncle screamed at me the whole time. Not been fishing since. I did try to throw the rods in the water, to be fair. Well, I think, well, you were a kid. You know, I can understand your uncle's reaction. Maybe it was a little much for the situation. How old were you? If you say like 17, then I'm on your uncle's side, by the way. Joe says, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to remember not to drop links from my desktop. We get some heart emojis from Love Our Toy Pups. Hey, Squirrel Sniper. Sniper says, greetings again, Eric. Greetings, my friend. Austin says, hi to Squirrel. Kathy says, I sub to you, Love Our Toy Pups. Kathy, you'll enjoy her live streams. If you guys have dogs, she just did a recipe for dog food. And if you don't have dogs, what's the holdup? Get a dog. I'm one to say, I don't have a dog. My dog died, my last dog, 2 of them, died in 2019. Man, I haven't had it in my heart to get one yet. I think about it. But I got 2 old cats I adopted when they were 10. They're going on 13. They would have no part. They would feel betrayed. Nightmare says I was 24. Joke. Let's see. Austin says Yogi is a great friend. Thank you, Austin. I try to be. Nightmare says about 9. Gotcha. So, at 9, we do impulsive things. I think I was a bit of a monster when I was 9. Austin says everyone is awesome in the chat. I agree, 100%. Joe says, Yogi, how is Mocha doing? Until I said hello. I will, Joe. I was with her earlier today. She's in school right now. I mentioned before that she is finishing off her associate's degree in photography and American Sign Language. Reverse that. It's American Sign Language and photography, but I think her heart it's always been in photography. She had just enough left in her GI Bill to get an associate's degree. And that's what she chose. Kathy says, I do, and I will check it out. Great. So here's a secret. Mocha's birthday, Mocha's a twin, by the way, identical twin, mirror image twins. So imagine Mocha and flip her around. She's left-handed, her sister's right-handed, just mirror image. Her birthday is October 16th. And I have not got her a single thing yet. And I don't think I'm going to buy her anything. But I am going to start a blog for Mocha to post her photographs on. I'll be the blog supervisor, blogmaster. We can German it up, blogmeister. I'd like the sound of that. I could be a blogmeister. And that way she doesn't even have, she can send me what she wants posted, and I will do it. And she'll have all of her stuff that she wants. She's a wonderful nature photographer. Amazingly so. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. Sanjay says, hey, Yogi. Sanjay, my friend, how are you? Thanks for asking, Joe. And I certainly will let her know that you said hi. Border Boy says, yo. Nightmare said, I'm so glad I saved YouTube. I don't know, Nightmare. Sometimes you got to let things flounder on their own, Maybe we should have done that maybe you should have done that with YouTube. We could have built something back. Something bigger, something better. I dream of a place called MeTube, where everyone posts their favorite video of Yogi. MeTube. Of course, if it was MeTube and we switched it around, then it would be Nightmare Tube. Here's what we should have. Here's what everyone should have. Everyone should have a Runnerboy Tube. Nothing but Runnerboy videos. 24/7. I know no one's going to argue that. I know Runnerboy's not going to argue that. Austin says hi to Runnerboy. So does Joe. Joe says that's great. I'm excited for her. She wanted to do American Sign Language because I believe it was in 10th grade, she had a friend who was deaf, and she always felt bad that she couldn't communicate as effectively with her as she would have liked to. Mocha's going to be 54 years old. Imagine that. Thinking all the way back to 10th grade with a friend she hasn't seen in decades, and making that kind of big decision. I want to do this because I had this empathetic experience with a friend that I was unable to communicate the way I wanted to. And if I can do that better for someone now and in the future, I want to do that. That's empathy and compassion. And that is why I fell in love with Mocha. All right. She's hot. She's beautiful. But it was the heart. It's always the heart. In the end, it's always the heart. And I like to think that, Milka fell in love with me because I'm hot and beautiful. Probably, probably not. I'd like to think that though. Let's see. Runner Boy says I had an impromptu live today. But I think I saw Arm Day, right? Runner Boy says, oh no, oh no. Sanjay says conversation is the key. Hey to everyone. I agree. Conversation is the key. Effectively across the board. But you know what? Joe says, I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. This is coming up on the 23rd birthday of Celebrated with Milka. At a certain point, it is always nice to buy something thoughtful. But if you can put something together that shows, one, I support, and two, I admire your talent and your ability, and I want to, in a small way, be a part of it for you. Not control it, be a part of it for you. Nightmare 2, where we discuss crabs. I like your thinking, Eric. Absolutely. Or we can just, we can call it Crab Tube. Nothing but crabs and oysters. Joe says, I have cousins that signed. I've been learning since I was a teenager. Nice. When she was studying the history of sign language and how it makes you realize how cut off some people are from the world, how they are cut off from each other. It really is heartbreaking. And it really does make you want to be able to do what Joe and Milka are doing and just find a way of communicating. Be better at communicating. And we can take that on a deeper level. Let's see. Austin drops a link. The link is from October 3rd. Austin got 3,000. Awesome, Austin. Guys, check it out. Austin's channel is cooking along nicely. So Runner Boy said, Yogi should grow a big beard. I have had varying degrees of big beards. As a matter of fact, if you go on my community page about a month ago, maybe a little more, you will see young Yogi with a big Jerry Garcia beard. Sniper says, Nightmare, you may want to have in the title some disclaimer for health and medical purposes. This is true. Sanjay says, I agree, grow beard. I generally let it grow a little bigger in the winter. So it'll be, a bigger one will be coming up. Not really big, but pretty big. So, talking about isolation and communication, that we don't realize how much we can communicate with our heart, with our eyes, with gestures, even if we are not, well, maybe we know about gestures, but I'm talking about a different kind of gesture. Doesn't have to be American Sign Language. A smile. A genuine, heartfelt smile to anyone. A stranger, a neighbor, a friend, someone in Buddhist metta meditation, which is loving kindness meditation. They call it the benefactor, or the neutral person. The neutral person is the cashier at the grocery store, the mailman, the barista that we see every day. And, we might be friendly. We're neither, it's neutral because we don't have an opinion other than they're part of our day. We don't know them personally or that well. A sincere smile goes a long way. Runner Boy says, I have a few videos of Yogi. I have obtained through a window, but I need to post that as well. I have a few videos of Yogi I have obtained through a window. What I need to post that as well. Absolutely. So would either be videos of me here doing this conversation or me talking to my cat. And my cat looking at me blankly, saying, I don't speak English. And even if I did, you make no sense whatsoever. Nightmare says, very true, Squirrel. Better to be safe than sorry. Absolutely. I can't grow a beard. I always patchy. Low testosterone, apparently. Not man enough, they say. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, well, you've just started working out, right? Recently? Your testosterone will rise up. Wetback says, what's up? Neferatro, Dracula. Wetback, my friend, how are you? Wetback, always has an interesting welcome, interesting entrance. You give me vampire vibes, bro. That's why we love you. I appreciate that. It's, good to be loved for whatever reason. I'm guessing friendly vampire, friendly turnip vampire. Turnip because I'm vegan. Meaning the only way to suck anything would be a vegetable, preferably a turnip because they're high in iron. Nightmare says, Team Patchy Beard. Only time will tell. Exercise works. Big movements. I know you mentioned push-ups. Make sure you're doing squats. Sanjay says, why vampires are always rich and handsome. Well, thank you, Sanjay, my friend. Although, technically speaking, I can only claim the handsome. I am not rich. All right, technically speaking, I can't claim the handsome either. Whitback says, beards, testosterone is in mustaches. Family, ask Mexicans. Well, our friend, the Burpee Reaper, I will have to ask him. Verna Boy says, so do I need a tetanus shot to eat a turnip? I don't think so. Point says, Nightmare, it doesn't work like that. My friend, my bro can't grow a beard. It's just genetics. And if you look at Eric Lapointe, he can most definitely grow a beard. As a matter of fact, I think it's a beard with an Eric Lapointe under it. I don't think Eric Lapointe has a beard. I think the beard has an Eric Lapointe. There's more beard than there is Eric Lapointe, is what I'm saying. Wetback says, yes, vampires are very intelligent and complex, but you are a nice guy as well. Thank you, Wetback. I appreciate that. You ever watch the show Things They Do in the Shadows about vampires? It's actually pretty funny. It's on Netflix. I haven't seen it in a long time. Sniper says, white hair and full Santa beard here. You know what? I would not have thought that, Squirrel Sniper. I sort of pictured you medium height, but very compact. Powerful without being exuding a sense of power without being super big. You know what I mean? That type of swimmers, The type of build you get from working hard at what you do. And relatively clean cut. All right, Squirrel Sniper Man, we're gonna need to see a picture. I need to see a picture. Nightmare says, "Oh, talking about that, I forgot to say I completed the push-up challenge yesterday. Awesome. It was 30 days, right? How are you feeling? And what's next?" Kathy says, "Hi, Eric LP." Sanjay says, "Well, don't look down on yourself. You're a yogi." You're true. You know what? And I don't look down on myself. I also don't take myself seriously though. That um, I can joke around with myself. But you're right. You're right about that. Eric says hi to Kathy. Austin says hi, Eric. Sanjay says you're pretty handsome, my friend. I appreciate hearing that. Thank you, Sanjay. Give me a second. Wetback says my dad is clean shaven at 60. I'm full beard, stash, goatee at 26, but I'm balding. And my dad has a full set of hair. Yeah, my dad had a full set of hair. They say that you inherit that maternally from your mom's side. Joe says, I'm driving. How are you today? Let's see. Yeah, so it is, like Eric said, it's genetics. Joe is driving, says, hope everyone has a nice day. Runner Boy says he's driving. How are you today? Eric says, say Joe, drive safe. Does nobody respond? Absolutely. Safety is always, always first. Wetback says, I feel you either bald with a beard or full set of hair without a beard. Did we have to choose? There was a time when I had both. There was a time when I had a ton of hair. Hey, Buddha, how are you? Semper says 5'10", 150. Those magic numbers for a path 5. 5'10", 150. Yeah, that seems compact. There you go. So I did it, guys. I might be the only man on YouTube who has ever seen and lived to tell the tale of what our friend Squirrel Sniper looks like. I will not reveal. Buddha says, hi, Yogi and everyone. Hello, my friend Buddha, our friend the Buddha. Buddha says, cooking, multitasking between you, Reaper, and pull-up. Well, I appreciate that, Buddha. Nightmare says, I quit it early because it was too easy. So I see that as a completion. I plan to do 300 a day and we'll start tomorrow. And it was just so easy, not to brag, of course. Man, how about 300's a lot? How about just doubling it? I was going to suggest 150, but I figured if I just said 150, you'd shoot it down. How about 200? Because, man, those numbers add up quick. Kathy says hi to Buddha. Sniper says, for your eyes only, Mr. Bond. Absolutely. Absolutely. Next point says, has anyone seen a Native American with a beard? So genetics. I know some of the northwestern tribes um, could grow not a full beard, but sort of a collection of facial hairs. But yeah, for the most part, what, like 99%? One boy says Yogi could cosplay Heisenberg. That has been suggested. Let's see. Eric Lapointe, just a rough estimate, if you've been keeping track. How many times has someone come into the live stream and said Walter White? Just needs a top hat. What makes you think? What makes you think that I don't have a top hat? Nightmare says, I hear Eric, but I'm just looking for the challenge. And I feel like 150 or 200 will just make me bored. Understandable. 300 would definitely be a challenge. Sniper says, Eric Point, ever heard of the kings wearing wooden beards? I have heard of that, actually. I might have heard it from you, actually, Squirrel Sniper, because I'm trying to think of where I heard it from. And that is definitely like a Squirrel Sniper thing that I would hear. So, hey, Nightmare, what else are you doing besides the push-ups? Are you getting some legs in? One of us says, Nightmare, do 200, then 200 squats. That's what I was thinking. Absolutely, Runner Boy. Eric Point says, too many to count. Too many to count. Absolutely, 100%. And it's counting. It's not like I'm never going to hear that again. Honestly, to be honest, I don't see it. One of us says, Yogi, you kind of look like Pink Panther as well, but that's just something I think. Pink Panther, the cartoon, or Inspector Clouseau? Peter Sellers. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what Peter Sellers. He was a comic genius. Not a very nice person, my understanding. Never met him, so it's just hearsay. But hey, the actual Pink Panther, that's not bad. It's actually pretty cool. Let's see. Nightmare says, I do my usual workout of squats, etc., but nowhere near 200. Maybe I'll do 300 times 200. Warner Boy says, yes, the cartoon. Sanjay says, T. Hey, so Nightmare, this is going to be a 30-day challenge, right? Oops, forgot to take my little herbal supplement. Sanjay says it's Mental Health Day. Is it? I did not know. That's an important subject. I'd love to do an entire live stream talking nothing but mental health and asking people what they do to support their mental health. Here's the general answer: not enough. We simply don't do enough to support our mental health. We will do, now, of course, physical exercise helps, but we will do all kinds of stuff for physical health. How often do we do a 30-day mental health challenge? I'm going to do 30 days of meditation. I'm going to do 30 days of breath work. I'm going to do 30 days of contemplative prayer or walking in nature or something that is going to support that. 30 days of creativity. Whatever form of creativity speaks to me. Origami, drawing, sculpting, painting, whatever it is, write a haiku. We never set mental health challenges. But the truth is, we're only as healthy as we are complete. If any one thing, um, isn't in a state of flow with the next, then we're in trouble. We are heading towards a brick wall. Sanjay says, let's go. How do you want to do it, Sanjay? I love the enthusiasm. Runner Boy says, Nightmare, do 100 burpees every hour for 24 hours. That would be a challenge. What about the David Goggins challenge? Run 4 miles every hour for 48 hours? Here's my opinion about challenges. The only purpose of a challenge is to lead to something that you can do every day. Yeah, doing the every once in a while type of challenges are fun, but that's just it. They're fun. But have some type of challenge that is going to improve your healthful capacity, emotionally, physically, spiritually, in some way. My honest opinion, the simplest thing in the world is do a 20-minute nasal breathing walk in nature as early as possible. If you can't do it as early as possible, just do it. But man, if you can get that early morning light, one of the biggest themes of my entire channel, early morning sunlight. We get a hashtag Buddha love. Thank you, Buddha, my friend. Nightmare says, I'd love to do that squirrel, but I'd probably sleep in for work. And I'm not so sure your co-workers or boss would appreciate you taking a burpee break every hour. How fast do you think you could do 100 reps? My best 100 was 7 minutes and something, but that was about probably 2 years ago. Florida Boy says, I'm just challenged. You know what? Don't sell yourself short. You are also challenging. Runner Boy is also challenging. Eric Point says, being you a yogi or getting close to the Pelican Bay routine. I need to check. I need to check to see how scared I should actually be. 1.6, I should be pretty scared. Now that I think about it, I should be pretty scared. You know what? It's definitely going to be a challenge for me to do that, Eric LaPointe, because I'm not 100% on my burpee game. I'm doing burpees every day, but I'm also doing my kettlebell get-ups, doing a lot of dips, a lot of pull-ups, and I've drastically cut down on my burpee numbers. And actually feeling better for it. Sanjay says, it's impressive, Nightmare. It is impressive, isn't it? So yeah, I'll definitely step up for that challenge. I'll be honest with you, Eric, I think it's harder than 1,000 reps. You're only getting 500, you're cutting it in half, but you only get 30 seconds between each. So you do 30 reps, 30 seconds, 29 reps, 30 seconds. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do your 30 reps super fast, but you have to do them unbroken, meaning there's no break within that when you start rep number 1, you keep going until you get to 30. Eric says, I did 105 pumps with 10 cycles today. Man, that's a lot of pumps. Eric Point says, I need to practice. It's a lot on the cardio system. Boy says, Yogi, are you still doing any running? Very little. I mix in some running with my walking. Probably 80% running, 20%, 80% walking, 20% running. Eventually, I'll get back into it. I like the thought of doing another 100-mile race in my 60s. Nightmare says, I'm self-employed, so my boss would go crazy. His wife? Yeah, I bet. How are you feeling after those 5 pumps, Eric? Runner Boy says, what's Pelican Bay? Pelican Bay is 500 6-count burpees. Although I'll be honest with you, I probably won't do 6 counts. I will probably just do 1 pumps. 6 counts, you're counting the number out loud. Each aspect of the movement. But as I do the nasal breathing, I don't talk as I'm doing the reps. When it becomes a cardio event, it definitely makes it harder. So you start with 30 reps, and then you get 30-second break. You do 29 reps, 30-second break, 28. You get all the way down to 1, and then you do an additional 65 to get you to an even 500. I often thought a great challenge would be to do 2 Pelican Bay routines back to back to get the Holy Grail. That is a challenge. I put that out there, and I don't think anyone's done it yet. I haven't done it. I've done Pelican Bay and a half. I did the Pelican Bay, and instead of just stopping at 65, I kept going for another 250. Eric says, I'm in trouble. Well, again, you can take your time for the 30. You know, it's not how fast can I do 30. Nightmare says, I do want to thank you, Eric, because for some reason you have motivated me to start content creating. Watch this space. I will watch that. Nightmare. And you know what? And I'm glad to hear that. I think, I don't know. I think everyone has something to say. I think everyone has something to share. And I thank YouTube for providing the platform for people to do so in a way that might be meaningful for them. More so than Facebook, more so than Instagram. Instagram always seems to me, and I could be wrong about it, I don't spend a ton of time on Instagram. But it seems more of the look at me. And of course, YouTube, you're in front of a camera. It would seem to be a look at me. It would seem to be a, hey, take your shirt off, go down in your basement and do a bunch of burpees, look at me. But it isn't that way. I don't know why. YouTube seems more sincere. People just want to highlight and showcase an aspect of their life that is so meaningful to them. They just want to put it out there. Sanjay says, have a great rest of the day, everyone. Keep shining. Keep smiling. Thank you, Sanjay, my friend. I appreciate you hanging out. Sanjay is good people. Eric says, my shoulder joints hurt a little. Sorry. That's a lot. 5 pumps are not easy. Nightmare says, I do want to spread positivity, rather, however, than the usual negative damage to society brain rot. That's a big decision, you know? That's another sign of emotional health. When you can decide, I want to be someone who gives something back rather than someone who takes. I want to be someone who leads by example, as well as leading by spirit instead of always leading by ego. Good for you, Nightmare. That's awesome. If I can support you in any way, let me know. Man, my channel really is your channel. And by that I mean everyone's channel. If I can't use it as a platform to help you guys, what's the point? What good is it? All right, so about 2 or 3 minutes. Gonna shut things down for the afternoon, evening actually. For me, I will be in bed shortly. 7 o'clock. Skeeter goes live. There will be catfishing. Go hang out with Mr. Skeeter or Mrs. Skeeter. Good people, good Pennsylvania people. They remind me so much of my family in Pennsylvania. Like point says, Jacob did 100 Navy SEALs and then 50 double Navy SEALs, 650 pumps after doing 205 pumps yesterday. Crazy. Jacob. What can you say about Jacob? He's a machine. Here's the thing with Jacob. He doesn't make it look easy. Jacob wears his struggle on his sleeve. You can tell when he's suffering, and it doesn't matter because he just keeps going through it. Unstoppable. That's what amazes me. You can watch some people, and they're so, I don't know. They will cruise through it without showing anything. Jacob is all work. All work. He works for what he gets. That's for sure. Mentally tough, mentally resilient. But hey, Eric LaPointe, you were there too. You showed that on your Holy Grail. Eric LaPointe says, yes, that's true. That's why I did what I did today, because of Jacob. Yeah, you know what? When I was ultra running, particularly 50 miles and up, 100-mile races, it was hard to relate to the people who were doing 100-mile races in 14, 13, 12, 11 hours, even occasionally a 10-hour 100-mile finish, because I couldn't relate to them. It was so far above anything that I could even comprehend doing myself. However, the people who just gamely put one foot in front of the other when they had blisters and a backache and they might be slightly dehydrated, maybe the stomach went south, they'd been throwing up for a while or whatever, and yet they finished the race in 29 hours and 59 minutes. Those are my people. I love the super talented guys. Amazing to watch. I'm not one of them. And it doesn't inspire me to think I could run a 10-hour 100-mile race, because I can't, even in my prime. However, I can keep putting one foot in front of the other indefinitely. That's why in 100-mile races, I almost never had a time goal. It was never about time. I was going to finish. You get a buckle. I was going to get my buckle. My very first 50-mile race, North Face 50, in the Great Falls, outside of DC. Beautiful area on the Potomac River. and it got to be 97 degrees. Nightmare says, "Good night, Eric. I will catch up with you tomorrow." Thank you, Nightmare. Appreciate you hanging out. Got to be 97 degrees, high humidity. There was a 60% drop off rate. 60% of the people in the race dropped out. I came in dead last. My very first. And man, was I happy to get that medal. Did not matter that I was in last place. Let's see. Runner Boy says, goodbye to Nightmare. Runner Boy, or Eric says, goodbye to Nightmare. Runner Boy says, Yogi, I'm going to run 15K on Sunday. Nice. That's awesome. Don't forget your Pringles. Man, 15K, that might be a 10 Pringle a day. 10 can of Pringles. Runner Boy says, I wish myself good luck. I wish yourself good luck too. As far as the super fast runners, there was a few people like Scott Jurek that I admired. When I did finish my first 100, which was in about 28 hours and 55 minutes, I believe, the winner of the race actually went home, took a shower, ate, went to bed, woke up, ate breakfast, came back to the race to congratulate the finishers coming in, shook my hand. Amazing. So he finished 100 miles, and he went home, took a shower, ate, went to bed, slept the full night, woke up, and came back. And I was still on the course. People can do some simply amazing stuff. I applaud it all. You know? Dream big. See what you can do. Do it for the right reasons. I always tell people, this will be the last thing, and then I'll let everyone go. I always tell people, you might see that meme where my body stops when my mind tells it to stop, or something like that. I don't stop until it's over, or something. It's supposed to motivate you. It never motivated me. Everyone has a breaking point. Everybody. We know that through torture. Anyone can be broken. And an ultra marathon or 1,000 reps of burpees has the potentiality to break people. However, there is something beyond willpower. And let's just call it spirit. Let's call it love. When you give up, when you say, I can't take another step, and you look down and somehow you're still taking a step, something is carrying you along. You're no longer pushing yourself because your willpower is done. You're not motivated. Motivation is done. But you are carried by inspiration. Inspiration itself. You aren't inspired. Now you are just inspiration. There's really no you involved. There is just the motion. You surrender. There is great power in surrender. Some might say it's the only true superpower that we have. Because when you surrender, you're giving up the ego, and now you're relying purely on spirit, purely on love, carried by the universe. One boy says, I want to hit 24. That's a big jump. Be careful making that that big of a jump. I guess it's not that big. You're doing 14K? Yeah, you can do that. Eric Point says, well, yeah, it's amazing what people can do. I appreciated him just driving back, to shake our hands. He actually said, I couldn't do what you guys do. I couldn't stay on the course all night long and just do that. I would give up. So he has to run fast. I think he was just being kind when he said that. Eric Point says, I want to see Runner Boy run. That's true. We have not seen Runner Boy run. See, Runner Boy says, well, I do want to get into do marathons so I can get medals. I'm not fast. I just want a medal. If that's all you want, man, I'll give you a medal. I'll send you one of my medals. Runner Boy, you can be first place as my friend. How's that? Everyone gets a medal. Eric Point says, great words, another great live. Thank you, Eric. Eric says, don't worry, never had a shin splint. If you ever feel a shin splint coming on, walk or run backwards for like 100 steps. After every run, they'll go away really quickly. I've run 22K before last year. Took 5 hours. Never matters how long it takes. Doesn't even matter if you walk. One of the boys said they give participation ones out. Don't worry, as long as you finish before a certain time. You know, I'm all for those kind of participation. You know why? Because it's not like the participation awards that you get in school. Nothing wrong with that either. I'm not making judgments. But in order to participate in a marathon, you have to train for a marathon. What they're saying to you is, hey, we appreciate that you put the work in and you put the time to finish the race. You deserve recognition for that. And I agree. Because training is tough. Training for an event like that is tough. All right, guys. With that, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.